Okay, folks, here's another one in the in this series of small works. Now, just yeah. So what I have here is a small 6x6. The actual canvas cutout is 8x8, but I leave an inch on either side, and then I've drawn in a little square of 6x6 on extra fine cotton canvas. Now I'm just going to put in a rough drawing here, but I think I'm going to change my glasses first. And let's see. Now the reason I'm doing this small series at the minute is that there's a lot of people that just don't have the time to do large paintings, and some of them don't have the space to do larger paintings. So anyway, let me just kind of lay this in here. Just a little bit of a drawing here, folks, and just kind of down to around about-ish here-ish. Okay, now let that do. Have a thingamajig, a bit of a hill-ish type thing coming along this way. There, let me see now. Maybe have a wee tree. Actually, maybe bring this up a bit actually. Up to here. Give myself a little tree along here. And a couple more along here-ish. Okay, let me see. And then of course my water. I like to have some water in a painting. Don't know why, I just like it. Something like so. And then the reflections of this tree here. Right, now that's a very rudimentary small drawing. Just a little bit of accent along there. Just right. So, I'm going to begin on the darks. So I is. Now, a bit of a greeny, warmy dark along here. So, let's get some yellow in to begin with. Some raw umber, a little tiny oxide. Little tiny a bit of phthalo green there, some more and some more blue, some ultramarine blue. Now I want it dark here, but I don't want black. Well, I'm putting black in it, but I don't want it too black, folks. So I don't. Right, so let me just block a few things in here and see. It's okay. So when I come down here a little bit, just keep this warm, a little bit lighter. Now this is a small paint. It doesn't take long to cover the canvas. It really doesn't take very long at all. So just keep your mind on what you're doing. Yeah, you find yourself drifting easily enough. Well, at least I can anyway. Right, now put a little bit of white in that just to create the look of a bit of atmosphere going off in the distance here. A little bit. That's all, just a bit of atmosphere. And bada bada bing bum bo. Bada bada bing bum bo. Right, I want to work on this mountain. I'm kind of getting the dark colors in first. Ish. So a little bit of ultramarine here in this green that I have already mixed. That should create a nice grey for me. But I think that's a bit too bit too bright. I think I'm okay there. Let me see. Probably a bit more blue. I'm using white, so I like to put a little bit of liquid on it. It also helps it move a touch as well. There we go. There's a nice. I think a bit brighter. Especially along the top here, just help create a bit of a misty tone along here. But I'll probably brighten it as I'm going along anyway. Whenever it has dried a bit, it might scumble a bit of brightness on it. Bum bum bum. As I say, it really doesn't take very long at all to paint these size of paintings. They're great wee fast pieces of work that you can get into quickly, you know, and all of a sudden it's done. Right, so I'm going to, I want a grey orange here. I'm going to be using this grey here to help create that grey. So I'm going to make myself up a bit of an orange. And then a little bit of white. And then some of this blue grey here. A little bit more over here. Let me see now. A little bit more red in it. And make it a touch brighter. And some liquid now. Help this move. Let me see, what are we to do? A little bit more blue in it. Let's bring this up here. Okay, now a little bit more blue in it, and a little bit more red. And just get it up in here. Probably a bit brighter than this. So a little bit of white to this. Just work these around here. All right, okay. All right, a little bit brighter. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Just take a little bit off this brush. A bit too much paint on it. I think what I want to do is add a little bit of blue. Just a little bit of this blue just in here. And as you see, I'm just dancing this brush about. I want to keep these textures as best as I can without working it too much. Okay. A little bit more up in here. Boom, 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 boom. Now, let's get some nice bright center piece here. I'm taking a good piece, a good bit off the brush here, and I'm just working in what I have here. Okay, trying not to get too close to the edges just yet. There'll be plenty of time for that. So there will, so there will, so there will, so there will. Okay, all right, now let's get to the edges now. That's it. Now, just keep going back to the kitchen towel here and just cleaning this brush without trying to create it. Now let me get my thoughts right here without dirtying the brush. Try not to dirty the painting as well. Right, a little bit more blue. Just along here. I think actually it needs to be a bit brighter in the blue. I'm going to put a little bit of cool blue in it. A little bit of cool blue. That's a bit more like it. Yeah, it's a bit better. Okay, I couldn't figure out myself there what was actually wrong there, and I just wanted a bit of coolness in it. All right, now I'm just going to stipple this just a bit. Now, stippling isn't the same as blending. Stippling can leave some of the texture behind, depending on how you go about doing it. And what I want to do here is leave some of this texture behind, for sure. Okay, just cleaning that off now. What I think I will do here is I will brighten some of these areas up before I move on. And I'm going to use a bit of a cleaner brush for this. And just going to push it in around the place, just to brighten it up. I don't want to be too cautious with it. Not yet. It's early days, folks. Still plenty of time to make mistakes. Nah, don't be worrying at this stage. This is just the underpinning. Okay. So again, a little bit of stippling. Just a touch now. Just to take those edges off. All right. Okay. Not very happy with that. Not very happy with that at all. But when everything is easy fixed. Just up in here, folks. There we go. Just wasn't working for me. It had a big dark patch up here. Just wanted to remove it. Right, for now anyway. Now again, everything is subject to change. And get more refined and all of that stuff. Right, so. All right. Now let me see. Right, I'll work on the grass. I'll work on the grass. So, some yellow, get some orange in it. A little bit of red here. Some raw umber. plenty of yellow. Nice deep green here. A little bit of liquid, help it move. And as normal, just scraping it on. I like to leave the textures behind. As if you've watched a few of my videos, you know this. You know this by now. Textures is everything. Keeps the painting interesting. Now, with luck would have it, I had a little bit of dark on this brush. It'll allow for this darker area that I'm putting in down here. Boom, boom, boom. It was just coincidence that I had that on my brush. Simple as that. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Alright, so next we jutting out area here just. Now if you're kind of up close to this, you'll see that there's a lot of texture in this. You can actually see it on camera too. There's a fair amount in it. And I really want to keep that. So I'm going to try my hardest here not to overwork it. Right, so what I'm going to do, is I think I'm going to work on the vata. I think just here's the mountain on the mountain side. Just putting it in, that's all. Just making a space for it. So let me see here. Is that bright enough? Well, not really, but it's bright enough for, not for the graded part of it. No, I think that's a motorbike. I promise I was a motorbike, in case you think I'd had a bit of an accident there. Okay. Now let me see. Nice and simple, easy landscape here. Let me see. Okay. So again, this is nothing more than the underpin. So I'm just going to give it a little bit of a help here. For me coming back, just brightening it up in certain areas. Oh, and of course I need to put the edgings in too. And I will do that. And then I think that may be it for the time being, until this dries up for me. So let me see, just along here. Dun 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 da da dee dun da dun dee dee da da dee da da do. Hear the music of the water, tender sudden sighs. It's all right for the time being. Everything marked and has its place. And all I think left for me to do, at least for now, is to actually I'll put a proper color on this here. So I will put a proper color on this. Quite a greeny, I don't know why I said it like that. Quite the greeny blue here. What is that to talk? Anyway. Right, so let me see. Yep, that's where I want it. That's good. And I think no. I was gonna say I maybe put in a you know, I will put in a little house. So I will. I know the bases of these trees here are quite cold. I want to bring this base down a bit further too. Okay, now we have ourselves the beginnings of a landscape, I believe. And I will bring this down, and then maybe that'll be it for the time being. A little bit of blue in this, a little bit of coolness, and I think so, down to about to here maybe. Well, that's all right for a start, I think. Okay, I'll darken this area here. Do I have a brush? No, I don't. Do I have? Oh, this one will do here. A little bit of a warmer hint down here. A little bit, just working it into here a touch, just getting that softer edge for now. I think I'm going to put in a little. I like little houses. I like them. I like putting them in. I think the odd, a little bit of mystery, a little bit of what's happening over there type of story, you know. Houses kind of never used to like them, you know. I never used to like putting them in. But then I did. So now, just marking for it. Right, a little bit darker as the eaves on the other side, but just a little bit. Though you should still be able to see it a touch. Just there. That'll do. At least it's the start of this. And of course, I think what I will do, actually, just while I'm here, I will bring it down a bit. Okay, so let's try this in. Now all I'm talking about is just dropping this down to about to here. And a little bit darker. Along here. Yeah, and that'll do for the time being. Just give us the impression that something is happening over there. Look at the way that can lift. See, this is just a dry brush, folks. And all I'm doing is gently lifting the paint that's down and creating some textures. It's quite a lovely way to do it, actually. You put the paint down, this is just a dry brush. And that's all, just a dry brush. And all I'm doing is just flicking it here and there. And creates nice texture. Right, that'll do for now, folks. And I'll see you when I come back to finish this off. See you soon. Bye for now. Okay, folks, right. Now back to this one. Let me get my glasses on. We'll see what we're doing here. Now. La da di 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 do 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 do. Okay, now let's work on the sky here. Let's have some liquid out. Get myself a nice grey orange. So there's an orange. Now what grey is an orange but a blue? A blue grey is an orange. Properly. Right, let me see now. I'm just going to begin up and around this area. A bit. Let me see, what do I think of that? A little bit of red and a little bit more ready. Again, another technical term. Ready. Let me see now. There we go. That's a wee bit better. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to plaster this all over the place. Just a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit brighter too. Bumpity boop boop boo. Yeah, a little bit up in here, a little bit over here. Don't be afraid just to, and if you can see the brush strokes, I'm just leaving them behind, just not too concerned about them. I will stipple everything in when the time comes. So what I'm going to do now is fill in the rest of this. Okay, a little bit of yellow in it, just a little bit. And that's almost exactly the same as what I have down, but that's not so bad. It allows me to clean it up. It's a bit dirty here with the thing, so let's just clean it up, staying away from the marks that I just put down until I'm ready to go into it, like so. All right, okay. Now I'm actually going to use a different brush here. And what I'll do is I'll stipple this in now. And the stippling effect allows a lot of this texture to remain behind. And you can shape what you're doing with this stippling as well. Just draw it up, like sculpting it in a particular way. The only thing about stippling is make sure you don't retrace the area that you're doing. Now I'm okay going from dark to dark and just moving in and around this area, but if I go from here up into a lighter area and then come back to the darker area, that's where you'll get into a little bit of problems. Now, nicely done there. Right, so no. Just going to create, I want some clouds in this area, some bright clouds. Some bright clouds. A little bit of liquid, just a touch, folks. I'm not looking to have it too runny here. Look at that now. That's pretty good. Now, trying to not dirty it too much here, folks. Now, here's hoping you can see my overall plan. There we go. And just dancing that brush around just to get the idea of some abstract shapes here and there. Alright, now I'm going to stipple it again, only this time with a clean brush. And what I'll do actually first is I'll use the dirty brush just to go around these areas here, just taking the edges off. And then I'll use the cleaner brush to do this area here. Gently, folks, I'm barely touching the canvas here. And then when this is dry, what I will do is I will reshape that a little bit. But what I will do right now actually is just shape it here a little bit. Too much of a straight line there for me. Alright, let me see, where are we? Alright, okay. And just back to a gentle stipple. Barely touching them. There we go. Now, that'll do at least for the time being. Nice misty thingamajig happening here. thingy-majig. Again, another technical term. I believe you are beginning to catch on that these aren't really technical terms. There's a nice grey. Let me see here. Now the idea of this is to create a mist, just a misty look, and I'm not going to be filling in exactly everything there. Again, the stippling will help me here. Now let me see, am I misty enough? I think so. Just a little bit brighter in certain areas. Okay. And then a little bit darker in certain areas too. Yeah, that's too dark. That's a bit better. Just down in here. Keeping it blue as well, folks. Nice and cool. I'm using a warm blue, but it's still a cool comparatively. And again, dancing everything around. Now, stipple. Just cleaning this brush off a bit. Now I'm going to really soften the edges here. I'm going to do that first. Really soften these edges a touch. All right. That's nice. Now what I do want to do is soften this area up here. Just I drag it down into the mountain side. Nice and soft. Okay. Now what I'll do is I will work on the distant trees here. So a bit of a greeny blue. I'll use some phthalo, some ultramarine, a little bit of yellow, and some raw umber. Now, these are off in the distance, so they're going to be a little misty. Going to have some atmosphere between you. A little bit of cerulean too. Okay. Let me see, where are we? A little bit more misty than that, I think. Just in and around the edges. Too much, way too much. Boom, 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 boom. Just dancing this about, folks. I have to say I'm not keen on this. I'm okay. I'm all right. You know what? I think it's just not blue enough in the base here. I want a cool-ish, you know. But I don't want it freezing. I think I'm going to wait until this is dry and then maybe mist over this again. I'm not, yeah. Yep, I think that is what I'll do. Needs to be a bit grayer than that. Right, not happy with that one either, folks. Okay, that's all right. I will make myself happy with them. Look at that. That's how I'll do it. I'll just work them until I'm happy with them. I am a bit happier with it. It's just, my problem is that it's just not misty enough. So I'm going to add some of the mist and see here. This is some of the mountain color here and the sky color. Too much on the brush just. Okay. Now I think it's beginning to move into the misty part of it. All right, okay. Right, so I'm going to work on this area here. A nice warm dark in here. Ultramarine blue, cadmium red, or not cadmium red, oxide red, some black, some raw umber. Raw umber. Doot, 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 doot. Okay, just glazing this on. Now I'm just having a wee look-see is all I'm doing. I'm going to take a fair bit off the brush here and just move around what I have on here. Just dancing that about, folks. Now, and we have a green here, and I'm going to make it a grey green just by using the sky, nothing else. Just that greyness of the sky, and I want to see what I have here. All right, so let me see what I think of this. Yeah, so far so good. I'm happy enough with this, as it's beginning to look like this. Yes. Now I don't want to do too much. It's important that I'm not going to do too much here. I'm going to completely cover this blackened area and this darkened area. A lot of light will be going into it. Not a lot of light, some light will be going into it. Right. And I'm going to put that in now. Let me see, just thinking to myself, folks. Just bump. All right, at least for now. And then I'll put in some of the sky colour. Bit of a better brush. A little bit of liquid just to help it come off the brush a little bit. A little bit here, a little bit there. Yeah, you just choose where you want them to go, folks. Wherever you think it looks nice to you, to your eyes. Okay. Right. Now I'm going to work. I'm not entirely done with that, but I am quite happy with it. So I am. It's not so bad. Just softening it is all. A nice soft look about it there. Okay. Now, let us work on the grasses here. Raw umber, some cadmium yellow, and let's see now. A little bit of blue, little tiniest bit of red, and some white in it. And use this here. It's a nice greyish yellow. And let me see here. You know, on some thoughts here, I think before I go any further, I want to bring this tree down a touch. So I do. I just don't like it sitting on that horizon there. Yeah, I think yeah. Well, we'll see if it's a mistake in a minute or two, won't we? And brings it forward a little bit. And I'm just thinking to myself now, I'm just thinking. All right, now. Yeah, that's not bad. No, that's not bad. You can just give me a grey here, just to fill in this little area here. Just cut into those a little bit, into those trees a little touch. Now we have some distance there. Little tiny bit of liquid, not much. Just to loosen it up a little bit, make the viscosity, I guess, a bit easier to deal with now. Let me see, a bit brighter than this. That's all. All I'm trying to do is just oil paint by itself can be sometimes hard to get off the brush. I'm trying to think here at the same time, folks. Oil paint can be hard to get off the brush. So sometimes you need to, depend on your application of it. Sometimes you need a little bit of help just to get it off the brush. Now obviously you're going, what the hell is happening here? But you'll see in a second. Whenever I add the trunks in, this will all make perfect sense. Oh, I hope so. And if it all goes wrong, maybe we'll have some technical issues, eh? Oh, anyway. Right. Let's get the trunks in. So, a nice dark, warm trunks here. Tree trunks, of course. And this will probably, because I've got yellow paint on there underneath this and it's still quite wet, it probably will need another application, but we'll see. Let me see what I think of this. I don't think very much of it so far, but it looks too uniform to me, so it does. It's a bit of a fix. Might as well use this here just while I'm here, just to do the things, to do the things. Yeah, too straight, folks. And all I mean is that there was too much uniformity in it. That's all. Now you can see that that's a little bit more natural looking, and I will be adding a few more tree trunks in it. Probably just one or two big ones. Just messing up the edges of it all here. Now I'll come along with And there's a few tree trunks there. I'm just going to add one large one. That's right there. And then one at the end here, just here. And then one at the very end, just right along here. There now. I think to my eye, that's a bit more natural looking. It's a bit better looking. Okay, so reshaping this shadow a little bit. Yeah, that's a bit better now, don't you think? So again, everything, just a gentle softening. Alrighty, now. Let's put in a little bit of a different color, just slightly different color, slightly different tone. Just for variance, just to vary the what's down. Okay, now I'm going to I need a wee bit of a sharp brush here. And I've got one. Now, I just want to put in some, not roadworks, but yeah, not roadworks. What am I trying to put in here, folks? Just little ridges and you know, kind of life things that happen. I'm sure you know what I mean. Now I'm going to put in a later version of it here. And then I'll come along and darken some areas of it. And I'll have something running right across here. What I'll do, I'll put, let me see. Ba-ba-ba-ba-bum. Very nice, very good. I think the tree needs to be lightened a little bit along the top. Yep. These here and the saturation and these need to be knocked back a touch. But I'm working, folks. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. Things are happening. So we get that down, and then we get a nice orange down again. Or not an orange, like a red-green here. A little bit brighter. La da dee 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 dee. Still keeping some texture there because I'm only barely touching the canvas with that fan brush. And I just want some shapes and little divots and whatnot. And it's just little things in it, you know, that you find in fields. La da da da. Alright, what I will do is I'm just going to lighten up this area here just a bit. So let me get some green here. This is kind of a rough brush. I'll probably change this brush. Let me see. Yeah. Laziness, folks, laziness. All right. A little bit of stippling here. Okay, I'm just working this down here. I don't want that to be so apparent there. Yeah, that's a bit better, I think. Just makes it show up a little bit more. It wasn't quite there for me. And a few more sky holes in it too. Getting there, folks, eh? Yeah, okay. Da da dee, da 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 dee dee. Bit brighter. Just creating edges here, folks. Just get the body of that a little bit darker. What I mean, just in here, just the body of this leaf, just a little bit too bright. Kind of bit of a silhouette there as it's being pushed out into the light. Gently. Okay. Now I do think that I want this a bit more apparent as well now. Just back and forward, folks, back and forward. Nah, it's not as bright as that. No need for it to be too bright. Yeah, I think that's better. Yes, happy enough now. Now we've gotten down to here so far. And I think for the time being I'll take a little break, folks. And I'll go and have my wee coffee and I'll let this sit for a while in my head. And I'll be back soon. Bye for now. Right, okay folks, back to this one. Now, I want to take a little bit of a slightly different approach to this one. I think I want to warm it up a little bit, the whole thing. So I'm going to glaze it with some oxide red. And I'm going to be putting it on and wiping some of it off here and there. So I'm beginning with oxide red. And then a really nice thin mixture. Thin it out with some liquid here. Take a good bit off the brush. This is a real, just a tester along here. As I say, I'll be putting it on and then wiping it all off again. Or not all of it, but I'll be leaving behind some of the residue of it. So let me see. And I'll be using the cloth to wipe it off rather than a kitchen towel. It's actually, you know, rather than say things, what I will do is I will use both. So this is me glazing it. Now up into here. Now glazing over white can be a bit tricky. Glazing over a lighter color can be a bit tricky. It leaves a lot of brush marks behind. So all I do here is I put it down and then wipe almost all of it off, and it still does leave behind a trace. Okay, now you can, even on the camera, you can see the brush marks on this. So give myself I'll use a clean bit of kitchen towel. Now, I'm just working that in. Now that has removed the brush marks. Now onto a cloth here. I'm just removing that those clouds in there, which I will fix up forthwith. Now, the same here. I'm okay with this. Just this here. And that should give it a bit of a warmer hint, a warmer tone to it all. Now, let me see. So let's, as it sits, let's just work on the cloud section here. So some yellow, and that's way too much, but I'm over here. And a little bit of that. A little bit of that glazing. Wipe a good bit off the brush here. Too much on the brush. Now let's add some white over here. A little bit more. And let's see. Just having a little look-see, folks. Maybe a bit more yellow. And just dancing that about, folks, creating the idea of clouds. And I think it may be a bit bright, so I'll stipple this in a little bit with my stippling makeup brush, if I can find the thing. There we go. Just taking away those edges. Still leaving some texture behind. And I want to draw in, I think it is a bit bright, so I'm going to draw in a little bit of the glaze here on it. That's a bit too much there, but just slightly colouring it. Slightly toning it, just a little bit. There we go. That's a bit, yeah, I'm a fair bit happier with that now. I just want to darken the base of this. So give myself a nice little softish brush, wee flat soft brush, cheap one. Nice and warm. Let me see. Actually, I didn't mean warm, I meant cool. A bit of blue in it. And keeping it thin. I'll be wiping this out again in certain areas. Okay. Now, stippling and wiping off. Clean bit of towel here. Just wiping some of the areas out here. And then just gently working this in. So far so good. Now where's that little brush? Here we go. Now I want a pretty cool one over in this area, like a more of a ultramarine blue with a little bit of raw umber. More blue than umber. Just along the base of these. Just to show that they're off here in the distance. Okay. More umber at the top of it, I think, actually. So this is a glazing part of it here. It's a bit heavy on the bit too much on the brush. Okay. I know that this creates. What happened to my video there? Hold on. I don't know what happened to my video there. I'll be back in a sec. Okay, folks. Still at a bit of a loss as to what happened there, but hopefully it doesn't happen too much. Right, so just stippling in the edges of these. Okay, and that's keeping them nice and cool. Nice and cool. Now I have a little area down here that I want to work on. And along here too. Okay, so a little bit of a darker and warm, dark and warm glaze here. And then whenever I have this done, then I'll come along and put all the detail on top of this. And the amount of detail that I see fit, of course. Just work that into there, just getting that nice gradient there of that falling. I'm talking nonsense, folks. I'm talking nonsense. A dry brush here. I didn't mean falling. I just meant the reflections of this. Right. So I'm going to put in some of the sky trees in this. Like so. Bump, bump, bump. Okay. Now, I will use just this, just bump, bump, bump. Right, now, I also want to glaze. I want to glaze this little area over here. Just darken it a touch. Okay, now and then darken this area here. Bum ba da bum. Okay, now let's just take some of this off. I hope this is working. It's made me a wee bit conscious, self-conscious of it, so it has. Right, so just taking a little bit of it off, and the residual should be left behind. Okay. Nice and dark, eh? Yeah, okay. Now let's work on, I'm going to work on the reflections, put in the details, and then put the house in last. That's at least my plan. Let's see if it works that way. So I'm going to work on this area here. I think it's a bit too dark. So let's brighten it up a bit. Maybe even a bit brighter than that still. A little bit grayer. A little bit of blue. And we'll just see how this fares whenever I get the rest of this put in. Now, tiny bit of red here. So I'm going to put a little bit of that blue in the sky as well. In the sky reflections. Just along here. All right, all right, all right, all right. Now we get to play with the water here. Let me see how bright that is. What do I think of this? What do I think of this? Right. A little bit warmer around the edges. I'm purposefully trying not to blend this in just quite yet. Nearly there though, nearly ready for the blending of it. Blend in there, and then just drag that over it a few times. Let me see. Okay, that's nice, that's good. Now, a bit of just a bright spot, folks, is all I'm going to do here. Just a bright spot right across there. Let me see. Maybe a bit brighter. There we go. Okay. Now, let's work on the lightness and the darkness of the grasses here. I think, excuse me, I think I'm going to lighten a little bit of the area here. So some raw umber, I'm mixing it with the oxide red that's down, some yellow, and then some white. Now I think maybe too much red in it. So let me see how I think this is near enough exact same tone, color. Good good matching, but I didn't want to match it. Okay. Nice and soft, folks. Let me see. All right. Now down in here. This is a kind of a slight vignette in it. So it is. Just down here. So it'll be a green. So I'm going to use ultramarine, some yellow, and some of the colour that's already down. So it's a brown green, really good dark grey green. Now I think this is too bright. Yes. And all I'm going to do, darken it, is just with a little bit of raw umber. There we go. Now that's a bit better. Okay, now I just want to put in, right, so what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to give it the gentlest of blends, just to remove some of that edge. Now, sorry for the hand waving, but I'm just making sure that this is working today. Alright, I want to put in now some of the darker patches around the edges. Use a little bit of raw umber for it, maybe a touch of blue, ultramarine blue. I don't want it too dark, and I do want it warm as well, so a little bit of oxide red in it, and just dancing this about, folks. Just dancing it about, creating some little patches. Alright, so we see them again. Let's get the fan brush and just knock the edges of those. Barely touching the canvas here, folks, but enough just to take the edge off that. Alright. Now I want to just put a little bit of life in the water, is all. Let me see here. Just have some of this coming out. I've got a little bit of a hair directly. I'm going to have to cut that off. I think it won't pull off. Anyway, a little bit darker. This one right in the center here, folks. Boom, 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 boom. Now, let's just drag in some of this here. You see that? And drag that across. Okay, that didn't exactly work the way that I had hoped. So, there we go. It's a bit too apparent. So, get the fan brush and just knock it out. It's a bit too sharp for me. There we go. Now let me see. I want to see where I am comparatively. I want to see what I'm doing here. I think I'll just, what I'll do is I'll put in the house and then I will decide where I am with it. So let's see here. A bit of a light roof on this. Now I need my maul stick here. And I just want to try this first. I'll tell you what, that little hair on this, give me a second, I'll be back in a minute. I'm going to cut this off. Okay. Now, where was I? I want this grey, but a bright grey. I want you to see this. Okay, so here we go. Oops. I ran off a little bit there. Easy fix. Now, just taking a little bit off the brush. Now I'm going to make it a little bit brighter. I'm just going to blend on the roof itself. Just in a certain area here, folks, just here. Okay. Now let's make the base of it just dark. Just dark. Just fade it down into the ground. Get your eaves in, nice and dark. And then just drag it down. Now, I want a dry brush to just work this in a little bit. Okay. Okay. Now, I need a small brush here just to work things in a touch here and there. Now, I want nice and dark in there. Nice and sharp. Trying to create a dark eave overhang there. Now I just want to work on the grasses just at the base of the house here. And we'll see. And maybe this is it done. I'll have a wee look at the trees. Actually, I'm going to shorten this building a little bit too. Okay. That's just a bit bright. I'm just going to, I took everything off the brush, I just wiped it off, and I'm just going to spread this around a bit. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a second here to look at the trees. And let me see, it's not as misty as I want up and around here, so I'm going to put a little bit of that into it. And I'll use a very small brush to do such a thing. And all I'm going to do is put on a little bit of the sky. Now I'm putting a good lot on the brush, only to wipe it all off again. Just on the palette. This is just a scumbling. Just to create a mist up in here. And what I'll do is I'll put this on, and of course I will wipe it off, folks. Let me see. Let me see. This is just a mistiness that I'm after. And the same with the tips of these trees here. Now that's a bit too much, It's a bit better. Right, now I'm going to take some of this off. Oh, no, I don't like this. Look at that. Just a big ball of light on that. I'm not happy with that. Right, so let me see if that will help it. Yes, that's a bit better. I will darken the base of it though. There we go. So a little bit of blue, a little bit of the glazing red there, a little bit of the black, and mostly blue actually. I just come in here. I'll do the same over here, making sure that just keeping them nearly on the same level, so they're going to be quite similar in tone. This one has worked better than this one, so. There we go. Let me see. Yes, let's just work this in now. Dry brush. Yeah, a bit better now, I think so. I think so. And I think, folks, I'm unsure about the clouds. I'll tell you what I'll do is just, I think I'll just add a little bit of light into them and see what I think of them. I can always wipe it off. So let me see, just a bit. Yeah, okay, I'm alright, okay. I think I will continue with this, just to create a few clouds, a few edges just. A little bit of a brighter thing up here. Okay, a little bit more stippling. There we go. I'm unsure about that. Yeah. I think what I will do is I will bring in some of the sky colour into the uninitiated. That means some of the sky colour. Just toning it up a little bit, folks, is all. Okay, yeah, a bit more of a shape, I think. I think this will do it. I think I'm done now, folks. Yep. And I'm just going to have a wee moment to myself and see where we is. Okay, that's nice. Yeah. Okay, folks, as always, could you please like and subscribe? And I will try, if I remember, to put some videos up around about this area here of what else you can do in painting. Like maybe it'll be a sunset or a cloudy day or something like that. Anyway, maybe a portrait. Haven't done a portrait in a wee while. Anyway, if you could, please like, subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye for now.